What's up, folks? On the air with VA3EWV, downtown Ottawa, the nation's capital, where they have people walking the same time you have to goddamn turn on the road. So if anybody wants to protest and stuff, protest about that. Anyway, I am in a good mood. I'm just saying that's, I don't understand how they work this stuff. You have about a 15-second timer, and people are walking across the street while you have to turn at the same time, so you can never move anywhere. Anyway, we're looking at downtown Ottawa. You guys aren't looking at me. I want you to see all these beautiful buildings and stuff like that. I said I was going to do that the next time hey Bob, I'm letting the folks back home, especially down south, look and see how the city life is. You know, with people obeying various traffic things in the city hustle bustle. Over to my right, the building to the right there that you can see, that's our city hall there. And to the left is like one of the little parks and stuff like that. But you guys get to see a little bit of this downtown Ottawa stuff before I hit the commute home and get on the air there. Again, everybody, y'all are with Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, Big Easy, VA3EWV on there. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just as I navigate through here first, see, so the bikers, they have a little green light. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but the bikers have a green light so they can go. Then the rest of us can go. And I'm always really careful down here because it's brutal. Over here on the right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but if you look up on the right on the hill, everybody's skating outside. I don't know if you can see it, but everybody's skating outside there. To the right at the city hall, they have an outdoor skating rink there. Yeah. I should be hitting the highway pretty shortly here. And again, we're just navigating through the downtown corridor. Then we're going to be getting on the air here. Yep, we'll look at a little bit of this and then I'll hit the highway. It's a lot of different architecture here than it is down south in Louisiana, that's for sure. So I mostly have friends in Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, stuff like that, Florida. So they don't get to see this all the time. So I'm not gonna say we're in the middle of winter, but it is winter time here. It's gonna be hopefully spring pretty soon. Like I said, we're just doing a little bit of this before I get on the air. I got my radio all set up to go. I'll be doing the national calling frequency first, like I always do, 146.520. And if I find somebody over there, I'll QSY to another frequency, not to tie up that. If I don't find anybody on that, I'll go to VE2CRA. And that will be that. I'll be going straight home today. The son has already told me he's got supper's going to be ready, so to come straight home. So I'll be doing that. And as soon as we get through these twists and turns, I'll be hitting the radio there. Yep. So we have quite an extensive transit system. You can't see it now, but to the left, where these buildings are, you just missed it. The train's about to go underground. You can't see it, but the train was above ground there, and now it just went underground. On the right, that you can't see because of the stuff, you can see the trees, but that's our canal. If you Google the Rideau Canal, Ottawa, you'll see that that's a pretty significant spot where people were always ice skating there, but it's been too warm, so none of that's happening right now. So yeah, we're going to be hitting the highway here shortly. When I make this bend, I'll turn around so y'all can see my ugly mug there, and then I'll start hopping on the radio and see who can hear me. And I'll be on the radio from here until we get to the 138 where I go to turn down the 138 to go home. I don't talk on that highway because it's pretty sketchy. So again, this first part is just to let people see, you know, what it looks like here in the nation's capital. For you guys that live here in Canada, that's going to be quite boring to you. So you can start to fast forward a little bit through the video if you're watching it later. Okay, so before I hop on this busy part, just gonna turn the old camera around there, and then we're gonna get on it. Okay, here we go. Merge on into the traffic there, and we're gonna get it done. I'll start with the national calling frequency first. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3EWV Ernest in commute from Ottawa to Cornwall. Anybody on frequency? Over. Yes, VA3EWV, is that you? Over.
QSO, it's me. There's some on the HT on the portable, so I don't know how long I'll be able to hold it, but I just want to stop in and say hello.
Well, hello to you there, Jonathan. Good to hear you on there this fine afternoon. This is my Friday. I'm not going to hold you up. I just always like to try the national calling frequency first, see if anybody's out there, and then we mosey on to VE2CR8. Have you had a good week, though, before you go over?
Oh, yeah, well, you're still coming in strong, so we'll see how long we can keep the QSO, but I have a feeling it won't be too long. Yeah, weekend was good. Hopefully your weekend was good as well, too. Weather's getting nice outside, so I'll probably do some HF this week and see who I can contact. How about yourself? How was your week been?
Today is my Friday, so I'm heading home for, I'll do 4 10-hour shifts, and then I have 3 days off, so going in for my built-in 3-day weekend. That's going to be awesome. I'll be taking a practice test for my advanced. I'm starting to get pretty excited there. I was already happy. I had been passing any of the practice exams. I'm halfway through the course that bracket's offering. But I've been scoring about 20-22, and the last 4 or 5 I've taken, I've been over 26. And 30 out of 50 is a pass, so I'm getting pretty excited. So I might study hard Friday, Saturday, and I might try to take my exam on Sunday. Over.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, Curtis. I'm glad to hear that we're on the exams and you're progressing. Just before you get out of reach, have you ever had a QSO yet on UHF? Something at 446 if you're game.
Oh yeah, I have the national calling frequency on UHF programmed in. I can QSY over there. Over.
Sure. Before you get ready, just do a quick test and QSY to 446.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll be right back.
VA3EWV, VA3EWV. This is Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey Portable.
Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey Portable. This is VA3EWV mobile, and yes, I got you in there loud and clear. And I'm glad that I have that radio just programmed in nicely there, so I can just 2 clicks over to the right, and I'm there. Over.
Okay, very good. It was really good. Well, you were coming in and out there, but I can hear you, but not quite. I think we should go back to meters then, if you can still hear me. VA3WV, Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey Portable.
Yeah, I can hear you really good, by the way. And yes, I'll QSY back over to VHF. And, you know, if I lose you, don't worry about it. I'll be on VE2CR8. Okay there, Jonathan. I'll QSY back over to 146, 520.
Okay, very good. Well, the monitoring both, you're really in and out, but just thought I want to try in case you're Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey. 2 meters at 440.
Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey. This is Victor Echo Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, over.
VA3EWV, this is Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey Portal. Yes, you're in and out. The UHF isn't that good on the HT here, but I didn't know if you had a QSO yet on 440, so I just wanted to cross it off your list just in case.
No, that was great to test it there, Jonathan, and thank you very much for reaching out and having a QSO today. I'll go ahead and let you go since you're on the handy talkie, and have a good weekend. Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey, this is VA3EWV. We're going to be clear and QSYing over to VE2 CRA.
All right, that's very good. Well, hearing from you today, and be safe for travels there to Cornwall, and all the best. Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey portable monitoring and standing by.
This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3EWV, Ernest, and the mobile, commuting from Ottawa to Cornwall. Anybody on this frequency? This might be a short one today, folks, but we shall see.
Well, nobody's getting back to you, Ernest. I guess I'll have to come back here. VA3EWV, VE3OTW portable.
Hey, Jonathan, VE3OTW, VA3EWV returning. Jonathan, the reason I haven't passed any of those tests, we haven't, for advanced yet, we haven't done anything with the formulas yet. There's going to be a hefty math portion, I've been told, a formula portion. This weekend, I'll go to Amazon and order my scientific calculator that cannot be programmed, because they said you can't bring programmable calculators in there with you. But I'll be ordering that, and I think once I get all the math stuff right, I'll be smooth sailing. So, just out of curiosity, have you ever had to use any formulas or anything like that, just talking on regular radio, if it's not with antennas? Have you had to do any formula work dealing with radio, over?
Well, yes, Ernest. So what I do for each shaft is I make my own dipoles. So what I do is I make them a half-wave dipole. So each arm of the dipole has to be a quarter wave each. So more or less, I'm on the lower band of the portion of the frequency. So I usually stick around CW and digital. So I make sure that when I do my calculations, the antenna is tuned in for the lower portion of the band, and that usually works out for me for QRP. So yes, I do use the formula. So good on you for studying, and I'm glad that the progress is going well.
Yes, I'll go ahead and grab that. You know, you never know. I guess when I do get an HF rig, because I do have one in mind, by the way. I've put it up on my Facebook for the world to see. I've even started doing some fundraising. And I had a guy get a hold to me. He's like, fundraising? Are you kidding me? Put some money to the side and then just save up, you know. And I saved up for whatever many months, and I bought my rig, and I'm like, well, I'm very happy for you. My situation, the wife and I both got laid off from a reconstructing, and we both worked at the same company. It's a pretty big company here in Canada, and we were both put out of a job, you know, for over 6 months. She was out of a job over 8 months. Her first day is back today, and I'm like, I don't have any, you know, what do you call it? I don't have any leftover cash to just be putting in a cookie jar for a radio.
QSL, Ernest, I'm very sorry to hear that about yourself and the XYL, but I'm glad that you're working again, and it sounds like the XYL is working as well too. So, Ernest, you don't have to spend that much money for a QRP, you know, for my antennas. It's just speaker wire. I'll buy a spool of speaker wire, and that's not that expensive. And I've worked the world on speaker wire, so you don't need that much. And I use 5 watts most of the time at QRP, so you don't need that much money or that much power. Of course, you can spend more and get a better quality product, but you can make do if you don't have that much there as well. VA3EWV, Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey Portable.
Yeah, the bonus of the HF stuff is all in the antenna. That's where you save the money. You can definitely make your own antenna. See, I don't own an HF rig at all. All I have is my mobile radio here that's a tri-bander, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and 220 with DMR. So when I was looking for an HF rig, my first one that I'm going to get, I didn't want to go use, I know there's a lot of used ones out there, but over the last year I've read so much stuff, nothing bad, but a lot of times when you buy stuff new, you can also get support and get a little bit of warranty too. So it's going to be a Yaesu rig that has C4F infusion, but it also does 6 meter and the rest of HF, because I wanted mainly for 6 meter to do FT8 and FT4. I don't know if I'll be an HF fan, but I don't have it yet, right? I don't have that. But the money I'll be raising is for an HF rig. And my wife, she does like t-shirts, mugs, cups, hats, all that stuff. So I'm like, well, babe, do you want to help me earn a radio? And she goes, yeah. If your friends want to order stuff, then we'll put it towards your radio. So that's what we've been doing. Been having a lot of people reach out, so I'm happy about that. And the only let me since we're on repeater, let me pause for a second. I'll be right back. VE3OTW, VA3EWV returning. Yes, when I got my mobile radio, I had 11 meter equipment, an amplifier for the car, base station, mobile radio. I'm talking nice stuff. Coax, a partridge in a pear tree. I sold all that stuff to get my UHF, VHF equipment. Well, I don't want to sell my UHF, VHF equipment to get an HF rig, so I'm just going to be doing that. So what I was taught by my mom, if you're going to do something, you got to put it out there, and then everybody else is going to hold you accountable. So I'm going to do a practice test for sure this Sunday, and people are going to be hearing me saying it, so they're going to go, how's your test? Well, I'm not doing a practice test. I'm going to just go and take my exam just to see what it's like, you know, and if I pass, I pass. But if I don't, I still have 2 more months of exam, of classroom time. And also, I've always said to people that I want to have my new rig by the time I finish this class. So, you know, that's what I'm doing. So I'm putting it out there so I can get myself motivated over.
Well, Ernest, very good, and I'm glad to hear that you're making progress on the exam. It sounds like you're confident to take the exam, and yeah, exactly, you know, never hurts to try and see what happens. Worst case, you can always take the test again, and it's also, as you mentioned, you have a few months left in the course, so might as well read up and see what you can do, and try it out, and then, yeah, if you're successful, you're good to go, then you'll have to set you up for the CW exam. And then, yeah, you'll be all set. Yeah, that's quite exciting news. All the best here, and hopefully you do well on the practice test this coming weekend.
QSL. And lastly, a friend of mine, she's a brand new ham, VA3 or VE3 KKA, Kimberly there. She was a lot like me. She was scared to go take her test because she thought she had to know so much about radio. And I'm like, don't let that hinder you. Anyway, she went out there, and I remember her getting a hold of me saying, hey, guess what? I got my basic with honors. And I was like, what? And I'm talking like just weeks after that, I'm seeing her doing everything on the radio. She's doing HF. She's doing FT8. She just went like full speed ahead. So I'm like, oh my God. So that's pretty exciting to see like new people like myself getting out there, enjoying the hobby. And today, she said to me, hey, guess what? Since you're a bronze member for RAC and you're doing your course for free, I just have to pay for my book. She says RAC offers a CW course for free for people who are bronze members, but you have to be really dedicated because the guy is very serious, right? So if you can dedicate 1 hour a day, you know, you should do it. And I'm like, well, let me get through the advanced study first, right? Because that's what I'm doing my 1 hour a day on there. And then I'll just go into CW. I'm telling you right now, I will be tickled pink. More than tickled pink. I'll be shocked, and I can't say the other word. I'm like, because I never thought I would, you know, I never even considered, you know, having CW, advanced, all this stuff. I was just happy with basic. And I'm like, if I get out here and pull this off and get CW as well and advanced, I won't know how to act. Over.
QSL learning, it's very good, very good. Well, yeah, that's great that you're getting yourself involved into the advanced and looking at the CW. Yeah, it's very handy to have, especially if you're not running a lot of power. You can make a lot of contacts with not a lot of watts. So yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm very happy if you're in it. That's great to hear. Well, the other option is too. I believe you mentioned you're a member of a club. What some clubs offer is they have loaner radios. They'll have a loaner HF you can borrow, or a loaner rig for 6 meters, something that you could borrow and try out with, because I hate to see you spend all that money and not be satisfied with it. So if you can get a practice rig that you can play around with, that might be ideal.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? You know, you brought up a good, that's a good suggestion. I know when I was a groupie, you know, because I joined the local club there, hadn't written my exam, and they were like, hey, we can we can loan you a handy talkie. It's HF only, but we got one. You can't transmit on it, you know? And I'm like, yep, I'll swear on the Bible I won't do that. And then they gave me a UHF, VHF, Yaesu mobile with a power supply, and I had it for one Monday night. I checked it out. It's like a library thing. I checked it out. I listened to the Monday Night Net. I got to, you know, go through the thing and follow everybody along, because we have 8 repeaters, so it was fun trying to get them all in. And plus, you couldn't transmit anyway, right? No tones, no nothing like that. But I got to listen in, so that was very exciting. And I listened to the guy do net control there, VA3EWV, who was our club president at the time. I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I started listening to Procom Net, TransCanada Net, this, that, the other net. And I'm excited to say that I've been net control for our local club, I think for a little over 6 or 8 months. Over.
Well, that's excellent. Congratulations on the fast progression there. Goodness, yeah. So, yeah, it's great to stay true to all those nets. And I try to do the same thing. I try and tune into the nets all around the city. And there's one locally here this evening that takes place on Thursdays. And there's one on Tuesday nights. I don't normally make it to that one. And Iroquois has one on the Tuesday nights as well too. So all the nets are on Tuesdays it seems. But yeah, that's great that you're able to tune into all of those nets and to listen in. That's great. That's great. And as you're studied up for the advanced, well, things are moving up and up. But yeah, if you can get a practice rig, even for 6 meters, yeah, if you want to do digital, yeah, you're right. A lot of people do. Let me reset here. VA3EWV, VA3OCW portable for ID. Yeah. So if you have a rig you can borrow, yeah, you can use digital as well too. That's very popular with the VHF contest. What I mentioned to you last time, when there's the contest on VHF, but the next one's not until the summertime. But man, oh man, 6 meters, they get wild, and then they call it the magic band. It's either on or it's off, and when it's on, everybody's on all at once. So you can really get some contact expansion. But if you do get the HF, as you mentioned, that will open up a lot of opportunities for you as well too. So that's 5 business for Excellent News.
Yeah, we have a breakfast this coming weekend, so I'm going to ask the guys at the breakfast on Saturday, does anybody have a rig and stuff like that, and that'll get me into trying to get myself a dipole antenna, right, a wire antenna, and start using some of that math and stuff and make my own antenna, because I have a lot of speaker wire and different gauges of it. I used to work at Future Shop, and I don't know how I just was going through my stuff one day, and I'm like, why do I have all this speaker wire, right? I had the spools of it, so that's good to know. So I'll take that advice. I'll let you know how that works out. I also tune into the Iroquois net. I was participating on their net on Tuesday nights at 7, and I could hit the Iroquois repeater like no problem. But the funny part was the people in Iroquois can't hit our repeater. So I'm always able to log into their, I think I'm in a sweet spot because I can do Covey Hill. I mean, I can do a lot of repeaters. There's 23 things programmed to my radio, or different repeaters that I can hit from my house. Yeah, so it's been an exciting time, as you can always see when I'm out here talking to you. I'm going to just back off the key, though, for a little while, see if there's any other traffic out there, and if not, if I can still hit you on that portable, I'll come back to you. VA3OTW, VA3EWV standing by for a moment to see if there's any other traffic out. Over.
Okay, Ernest, very good. Well, as mentioned, stay safe on the road out there, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. And best of luck in your studies. It sounds like it's going very well. And if I don't hear from you, have a great evening. VA3EWV, this is Victor Echo 3, Oscar, Tango Whiskey Portable. Take care, Ernest, 7:30.
Well, we're just past Calypso now, folks. Just past Calypso there on my left. I don't like to tie up repeaters, so even though I love to talk, I'll give them a little bit of time to go out there and see if there's anything going. And if there's not, then I'll ring back out there again. Jonathan is a good guy to talk to there, as you guys can hear. I met him when I remember programming. You can't see it on my back window, but I do have the national calling frequency on the back window. So the reason I'm able to say it, not that I have it memorized, I just look in my rearview mirror when I see 146.520.